All right, folks, we're live, but I'm wondering why our Rumble is not live. Let me just make sure that, I see. I see why Rumble's not live. Hold on, guys. All right, so now Rumble should go live in a couple seconds. Sorry about that. All right, I'm here with our daily update with Joseph Levy of Ascending Capital. How you doing, Joseph?
Hey Ben, doing good, man. Doing good.
All right, cool. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. We hit some home runs on the show this morning. All right, good. Now Rumble's live. All right, great. So now we're live everywhere. If you want to ask questions, hop on over to YouTube, or the Rumble works as well. But if you're watching on Twitter, we're not going to see you there. So if you want to ask a question, go to youtube.com/StoryTrading. Cart just opened. Okay, just letting you know it just opened right now. Not going to give you any analysis on this. We'll monitor it throughout here. Maybe Rex from Rockspear Trading will stop by. I give him an invite because he's an expert on trading IPOs. So let me just see if he's going to come to the room. So I give him the back studio link. He might join. Okay, so in any case, that's Cart. I'm not an expert in IPOs. We're watching this.
Yeah.
See a bouncer pullback. A bounce opportunity. Our number one pick this morning was ENPH, and we gave it to you last night too in the app when the stock was around under 119. We gave it to you with a 124 target. Our number one pick again. There has only been one time in the past 7 days since we kind of restarted the show here, the Joseph, only one time in the past 7 trading sessions where our number one pick did not do great and like meet the targets. That was Friday.
Yeah, that was Friday.
End phase again. We gave it to you under 119 with a 124 target. Boom, it hit it right off the bat. So how did you play this? How did it work out for you today, Joseph?
Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, I've been making notes of how the morning trade show ideas have been working out, and I've been seeing that time and time again, the initial target that you give on the show hits fairly quickly. So we had a nice big position going in. I bought some calls at the open as well, and we sold. We were all out at that initial when it hit 124 the first time. We were all out, and we locked in a nice bit of profits. And as it went back down, using the intraday lines that we use for day trading, we scaled back in and we sold. You look at the chart, we out on that pop, got back on the way down, and then sold on the way back up to 124.
Yeah, and you did some good research from my understanding. You looked back at our number one picks and you saw that it reaches the targets like this. This is the very often the behavior where within the first few minutes it spikes up to the target and then it's a different story the rest of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly that. That's why I decided to be all out at the target initially. So it's good. Yeah, good research paid off.
Yep, that's awesome that you're doing that, documenting what works, what doesn't, looking for trends in our process. That's beautiful. All right, number one pick, that was ENPH.
We're currently still in. We still have a small position in ENPH, kind of riding a portion of the profit.
It's above this. Yeah, it's above this moving average, which I still like it above that moving average. I guess if it breaks below that moving average here, we may have to bail. But we've already locked in.
1 minute timing.
That's a 1 minute. There's also the 5 minute we could if we wanted to give it more room. But we have a nice profit on this one. Want to give it up.
Yeah, true. Nice.
All right, that's end phase. Number 2 pick of the day was SMCI, and I did tell you why this was number 2, why I had more confidence in end phase this morning, and that's exactly how it worked out. And SMCI a little bit harder. It's been choppy all day, so I think we're kind of like break even on this today, right? Broke out.
We made something small on it. We got all that out.
Yeah, we got all out. We saw that end phase was working much better. It had an upward trajectory all day. So we decided to get out of SMCI, more or less break even, a small profit, and just focus on end phase today, our number 2 pick of the day. After our number 2 pick of the day, we didn't really have a 3, 4, 5, 6, but we had a bunch of ideas and a bunch of things to monitor. One was Talk. Actually, I think Talk was listed number 3, but I told you I wouldn't, and I was wrong actually. I wouldn't buy it here at 190. Maybe sell something for pullback. But this we've been telling you about for days. That the price action really strong. We've been telling you about the fundamentals. I actually did I add more? No, I didn't add more. I just give you guys the heads up. We added some to the fund the last few days because of the strong price action and the strong fundamentals. I told you my price target of $2, $3, $4. This is up on massive $3, $4. This is up on massive volume today with no news. Volume 5.3 million shares. It started. This came on our radar because in pre-market there was someone trying to buy 40,000 shares at like 182 or 183. I saw it right out of the gate at like 845 or so. I don't know what's up here. There's no news. There's nothing. I'm even thinking this could be a buyout rumor or something like that that's spreading. I'm thinking that's a possibility on Talk, but for me it's a long-term hold, and I'm looking for much higher. So I'm just holding that.
Okay, nice.
LLAP we gave you within that top 5. Let's just take a peek at cart. I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned this, but we did trade Talk a little today. Did you say that? We bought some.
Yeah, I know we bought some the last few days for the long-term account. And we traded a little bit today. Yeah, but nothing big size.
You're right.
Okay, we're just seeing a bounce off cart there. Okay, so other picks we gave you, LLAP. Man, this worked out because we've been warning our audience about LAP for at least a week or two. Look at cart making a move on towards $40 again. But
I mean, I must interrupt you on LAP just because cart we're like live trading this, but we're in this. I did add some below 39 between low of day and 39. Where do you think this could bounce to? Are we trying to trade this intraday?
You know what? Look, I don't have a lot of experience in IPOs. I do candles, It held $40 for a couple candles, and then the third candle there was resistance. So right here, $39.99. If we're in profit, if we're scalping back and forth, whatever it is, maybe it makes sense to sell a little bit here, and we can maybe get back on a drop. That's all I got on this chart.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's go. LAP. We warned you on LAP the last couple of weeks. We were out of it. Hope you were out of it. We said, hey, there's a chance of an offering. The offering came. But the pricing of this offering, a big surprise, $1.40, very high price. The stock is down much more than you would have expected at $1.40. So I'm actually buying over here. There are warrants, right? So it's not gonna trade, and shouldn't trade at $1.40. It should have somewhat of a discount because of the warrants. But even at $1.15 here, I'm a buyer here. I expect, first of all, how'd they get such a good price? Because they probably have good news flow that the investors knew about. So I expect the Lockheed Martin contract to be announced, awarded any day. Investor Relations has been signaling that to folks. They've been very public about it with everyone who talks to them. So we're expecting Lockheed Martin press release any day. So we're collecting this again after we avoided it, and we're holding this for a swing, and our exit is going to be that catalyst on LLAP.
Yeah. We did add a little. I mean, when did we add? We added this morning. Oh, we traded it to 130. We got mostly out, and then we've been scaling back in. Lowest price we got was did we fill up 114? We definitely got 115.
Yeah, we sold this spike in the morning. That was beautiful, but only half our shares. We should have sold all, right? But anyway, that was a nice. We got in pre-market, boom, right to 130, sold half our shares. Yeah, we have a nice stake we're building today, actually. Building a nice stake. We're going to swing this to the next catalyst.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's move on to Rocket Lab. Well, I want to cover Yatra first and Rocket Labs, because Yatra, okay, I think today is the last opportunity to get cheap shares. We've been covering this for a couple weeks. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get the final interest level in India of the interest in the subscription. Like, it's priced at $3, but how many shares people want access to, right? That's going to be revealed tomorrow morning. I think the stock is artificially down here, or erroneously down in an understandable way. Monday and Tuesday, it's down because the data coming out of India, the first couple of days of this IPO window, the IPO window is Friday to Wednesday, and people put their interest levels in. Institutional investors, there's different tranches for institutions, high net worth individuals, retail. We already know the anchor investors, they're already committed to about 45 million. So the other 45 million is now kind of like an auction. You got to put in your interest level. But the way it works, I'm saying this based on a colleague who I trust in Indian IPOs. It's the 5-day IPO window. People don't really show their interest until the last day. They withhold their interest level. Then the last day, they say what they're interested in. So if you're looking at the daily updates coming out of India, it looks like there's not a lot of interest. And I think that that's the reason for the weakness yesterday and today. People are looking at that and say, oh, this is not a hot IPO. Not many shares are being asked for, right? Well, retail's already subscribed to 2x, right? But institutions, they wait. They wait till the last day. So I'm expecting tomorrow morning when we wake up, we're going to check the Indian website and we're going to see 5 times oversubscription, 10 times oversubscription, whatever that number is. I think that's going to come out tomorrow. And remember, it's priced at $3 USD. We're at $2.45 now. And then we're expecting a press release out of the U.S. company, out of the U.S. wires. There's not been any press release on this yet. We're expecting a press release this week, maybe tomorrow, but more likely Thursday or Friday. We'll get a press release saying Yatra has raised, $45 million or so, or 90 million, whatever it is. I guess at that point, IPO, it'll be the full 90 million. So they'll say, look, we've raised $90 million at $3 a share USD. I mean, I really like this stock right here, right now at 245. So nice opportunity in Yatra. I think it's your last chance to get cheapies is today. All right. Let's move on to our 2 shorts. We'll come back to Rocket Lab. We gave 2 swing short ideas, which were also my 2 picks for the week on Wolf Financial Spaces. We finished in second place, it turned out, last week on our long uranium call and long Yatra. But the top one that's really worked out is Dash. Oh my. Dash, we gave the catalyst and the explanations this morning. You know what? I think we're getting a pump now because cart has opened. This is a sell. This is a kind of this is a buy the news on Dash, right? So people are selling ahead of the cart IPO. Cart IPO opens. That trade unwinds. Anticipation sell the event because now all the retail is thinking, oh my gosh, now there's demand for cart. I better sell Dash now. No, too late. You should have sold Dash before, right? And there was also the other catalyst from RRGB that we talked about last night and this morning. That's for VIP. Is not going to. But Dash has been an incredible short for us. We shorted with puts. Tell us how you played it and what our status is now on it, Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, this is major kudos to you, really, for calling this out on the RRGB news. It was yesterday, and you said it a few times. Had we even looked at it earlier in the day, we'd probably made much more money off it. But anyway, yesterday, towards the end of the day, we were looking at the RRGB press release, and you made the conclusion that someone like Dash, like DoorDash, would really lose out from this. Like the whole thing was weakness in that sector. So yeah, you had the idea to short Dash, the new short idea, the new short sub account that we created. So we shorted some shares. We also bought some puts, and then it crashed at the end of the day. And today was beautiful. I was selling puts on the way down. And I think I sold the last of the puts around 77.40s, something like that, or 70s. What was it? 70? Look at this. Around 77.40s. That's where I covered the rest of the puts. We still have the short shares, but yeah, made some good money.
Kudos to you for closing out all of those puts. I did give a target of 75 to 76.30. And it got as low as 76.50. So it didn't quite hit our targets, but you still closed out. Another thing I should have thought of, which I did, but I didn't really express to you too much, was I think it was 12.50. That was basically we can cover the short when Instacart opens, right? Sell the news, sell the rumor, sell the anticipation, buy the news in this case. Yeah. So that would have been, and you see how that worked out. So, but beautiful job. You saw big gains on the puts. We didn't quite get to our target, but we were very close. So you made the decision to close that out, and that worked out really well for us.
Because puts and there were weeklies, you have to really measure risk reward with options. So yeah.
Okay. So all right, now to one that's not working out great just yet. Rocket Labs. Well, this morning it worked out because in the pre 7 a.m. session, I shorted Rocket Labs at 450 or so average and covered around 4. So I got a nice 50-cent move out of it. Then I kept on going at 365, and I'm like, man, I covered too early. Let me see if I can get back in on a pop. So yeah, it popped. I got back in, popped more, and so I've been selling this short on the way up. And I told you there was a possibility this morning. It could even try to attempt to do a gap fill. But seeing it in action is always harder than like intellectually predicting it. As you see it, it's like, man, why am I shorting something that could, do a gap fill? But if it does go all the way a gap fill, we left a lot more room, to double our short position there if it does get close to 495. But this was really, really bad news out of Rocket Labs. Honestly, I'm surprised. This is the rocket failed, exploded. They're postponing the next launch. They said they have to get an update soon with lower revenue guidance. Like, I'm really surprised it's only down 7%, to be honest with you. We're down 20 to 25% early this morning. So our first go around early this morning, we made money. Second go around, we're currently in the red on this short idea. But I think I'm going to stick with this, even if it does try to do a gap fill up there. It also happens to be the 200 DMA. That's a double resistance on bad news. I don't think I'm going to get scared up here. I think I may short some more.
I'm with you. I looked at the news, man. This is bad news. It's really not nice news for the company. I think we can short with conviction at $5 if it gets there. So yeah.
All right, cart's over $40.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, so let's see if we got anything else. I think we covered all. TDoc we're shorting in our new short account. We gave the thesis last night and this morning. New 52-week low, a little bit of pressure from what Amazon might want to do. RK really weak, CPI, PPI hot. Growth stocks and any kind of risk assets, any companies that are burning cash, very weak. Look at this, 52-week low. So we're added to some TDoc short. All right. Anything else?
Let me see.
Let's see if we get some technicals forming here.
Yeah, now it's just cart. Now cart, nice focus on cart at this point.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a tough one to trade, I guess. You said you pulled 40 as a nice resistance.
Yeah. I'm not. We're not going to do a big position on this. We're basically just trading high volatility here and assuming there's enough interest so you can have like an upward kind of bias.
Yeah.
The interview we did of Chris Tuttle last week. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't get him into last week. It was all about ARM. He touched on CART, and he did mention, if this was priced at 30, the problem is it's just, this was supposed to be priced at 30, and then they came in and they raised it to like, what did they raise it to? 30, 39?
39, yeah.
No. 39 is what it opened at. 41 is what it opened at. But I think it was priced at 30, wasn't it? Okay, it was priced at 30. So the problem is it's opening up. So based on where it's priced, we got a really good indication from IPO Candy, right? He was the one we did live trading. He got into ARM. He also said, you know what? The valuation for, I do have some thoughts on ARM. It's from our show. Actually, I'll get to that in a second, Scott. But, he said the valuation for CART is even better than ARM, and he was more interested in playing ARM. But it's just a CART, but it's just tricky because now you're opening up 40% higher than the IPO price, which is a much larger opening print than what we got for ARM. So that makes the trading difficult. And I think also there's increased demand because of how well the ARM IPO went. So it just makes the trading around this really difficult.
Yeah.
So we interviewed Chris Tuttle of IPO Candy, Scott. It's in the archives in our app. If you go to storytrading.com/app, download our app, put in ARM into your watch list, and then hit on like the events calendar icon, you'll be able to pull up the archived event where we interviewed Chris, and it was mostly about ARM, but we did touch on CART. So what I will tell you is that ARM is very overvalued in terms of a PE. It's really easy. You just take it's basically the price is the PE because they're about $1 a share they're forecast to do in 2024. So you're talking about a 55 PE. Last week we were talking about 60, 70 Ps, whatever. This makes it like one of the most expensive AI stocks out there, more expensive than Nvidia. Maybe on par with how expensive Palantir is at this point with a 55 PE. So it's one of the more expensive AI stocks. I prefer SMCI, which I have a large position in my retirement account, which has gotten clobbered, but that's like a 20 PE compared to ARM, which is at 55 right now. But there's a lot of sentiment and hype around it and everything like that. So look at the technicals, look for support levels, and it's probably, you probably make money on ARM if you buy the support levels. So that's what I got for you, Scott, on ARM. All right. I'm kind of anxious to get back to trading and take care of our end phase. It's at a critical point here. I think if we have a close below this moving average, we should probably exit for the day on end phase.
Yeah, I'm watching it, and I'm also debating. Well, I'm waiting. Yeah, let's see if it breaks down. I think, and also even if we wanted to get back in, I'm sure we can. If it breaks down, we can probably get back low. So.
Yeah, so let's see. We're going to try to finish out end phase for the day and then work on CART. And it's been a good day. It's been a good few days. Friday was rough. That was it. We had a bad day Friday. Remember, FOMC is tomorrow. We've been hedging ahead of that, but we're actually going to close some of our hedge ahead. How's the markets doing? Let's see how QQQ. We're going to reduce. I don't want to say close. We're going to reduce some of our hedge. See, it's already happening. Right? Did we reduce this morning on our hedge?
Yeah, we did reduce a portion of every hedge that we have.
Yeah, because this is the playbook everyone's doing, right? Like everyone's like, all right, let me take some risk off the table before FOMC and cover before FOMC. Well, if you're covering before
it's actually
FOMC,
true. Look at QQQ, SPY, and RK. They're all like bouncing back at this.
Right. You can't cover at 3:55 p.m. because everyone has the same playbook right now. So you see that covering has already started. So we probably will reduce our hedge even more. We've had a nice, we did well. with the hedge the last few days. We're short QQQ, not QQQ, RK, IWM, KRE, Regional Banking Index, SOXL. So we're going to reduce our hedge. Maybe we should reduce it a little bit more and seeing this price action right now. Okay. And then we will decide again tomorrow based on what Powell says and based on the price action. We'll kind of, reallocate however we have to reallocate. To me, it's important what happens tomorrow. I'm not predetermining what we're going to do. I think it's important what Powell says. We're going to take that. We're going to listen to it. We're going to see how the market is reacting to that. And then we'll make some decisions on what we're going to do. But I think it's a good idea. You made a good point, Joseph. The best hedge going in tomorrow is cash. So we're going to try to raise a nice amount of cash so we can observe tomorrow and react and have some.
Yeah, also because you might get a lot of buying ops. Like let's say you go in with a lot of hedge and then it's like bullish, it's dovish, and you want to buy and you stock, the cash is the best thing, or you want to short, like the best thing is to have cash, I think. So
yeah. And I don't think I said this. I just want to highlight what story trading is all about, right? As we're trying, why did we make this our number one pick? Okay, so I borrowed this idea from someone I was on a Twitter space with last night, but I borrowed it because his thesis exactly matched the story trading process. He's like, I have a catalyst idea for you. But as he explained the thesis, I'm like, you know what? It's a story trading idea because he was talking about multiple pillars, saying the fundamentals are strong here. It's got a 20 forward PE. Now we have an insider buy catalyst, an insider buying several million shares. That's now 2 pillars out of 4 pillars. Then he talked about the sentiment. He didn't use the word sentiment, but he was talking about, hey, this is one of those stocks that was like a favorite of the momentum traders. Back in the day, look how this stock did, right? 336. So if we get a move in end phase, it could attract a lot of traders. That's sentiment pillar. And then technicals, you didn't touch on the technicals too much, but for me, just saying, look, this thing is like down so much, you get a catalyst. So I use technicals to figure out the target. That's how we gave you the 124 target, 20 DMA. So that's the 4-pillar process, and it works so often, and we're doing such a good job with our number one picks of the day. It's just really uncanny. And the other part of this is we make an assumption that yesterday's price is the correct price, right? We don't think about market inefficiencies. We say, yes, the market's efficient. So yesterday's price at 117 is the correct price. So now as you get an incremental new information today, a delta of information causes a delta in price. That's what gives us conviction. All you got to do is assess the new information correctly. What's the rest of the market going to think about a big insider buy? What's the rest of the market going to think about where resistance is, right? So we just put all that together and we say, we're going to get a rapid re-rate. Because markets are efficient, you get fast moves. Look at this efficiency. Look how quickly it re-rated to our target within minutes. And I cannot tell you how many times this happens at story trading. It happens so often. It's completely uncanny. So in any case.
Man, one of the biggest reasons why I covered at the target was because of Friday, which was a bad day for us because the top picks didn't end up working. If you actually look at the targets that you gave and what they hit at high of day, most of the targets actually hit, like Tesla and CLH, which ended up down at the end of the day. They hit the targets initially at the open. Like they had very similar charts to ENPH at the open, but then it just camel day. So, that's something to, the re-rating happens and then it does what it does after that.
Right, and Friday was a bad day, so you didn't see the follow through. But okay, that's it, guys. So I'm going to leave you with a little video to explain what story trading is about. We'd love to see you there. You can get a free trial. By the way, our app has a lot of free features as well. So you go to storytrading.com/app, download our app. Look at Talk making a move here, 206. So download our app. You can get a 7-day free trial for access to our videos, but everything else is free over there. We also have a paid chat room you can partake in. And we will see you later. Thanks, Joseph, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Yep. Bye-bye.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.